Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Disco Elysium. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today. I thought I had interactions here, but it's just in the level. Kim wants to talk to us though.
What is this place?
The lieutenant stares at the dusty training equipment. It looks like a gym to me. Yes, but no one has been here in ages. He draws a stripe on the dusty floor with his foot. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Some specks of dust shimmer in a faint beam of daylight falling across the, or falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark. An eerie feeling rises in your chest. Our inland empire easily succeeds. What am I to take from that, though? Where if there's a reason why no one's been here for ages, that's true. Let's just keep going. I'm sure it's just a regular abandoned house. Nothing mysterious here. So if you don't remember where we are, by the way, we are in the back of the... we're looking for her, for one. I don't know who she is, but we're looking for her. We're also looking for a freezer. And also, supposedly people must have been here. Well, I don't know. Specifically Kuno, because he knows there's a freezer over here. Also, the electricity mention. The mention of electricity there sort of bothers me, because the fridge needs electricity, most likely. You'd think. But yeah, we're in the back of the map place where maps are sold and books and whatnot. Let's ask this one. What if there's a reason why no one's been here for ages? Yes, because it's closed. Thanks, Kim. Yes. No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. Now let's move on, shall we? Okay. Money. We get money every time we do that. Citius Fortis, the rest is worn off, the poster says. Worn out. Wall bars, they look unsafe. Wait. Are these the things? Are you supposed to do exercises on these? Or are they just meant to hold things in there? I don't know. I don't go to the gym. I don't know anything. What is this thing we have on the floor? A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms, our physical instrument tells us. Your triceps hum at the sight of... A trivial success, really. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. The world is dealing with. Lift them. 60 kilograms. Yeah, you can throw your back doing that. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard, says our visual calculus. Thanks. Which means that basically it will fall. I believe that's what collars is supposed to be. Why does it feel so familiar, asks our inland empire. A legendary... We could try that. I'm probably gonna die. Is this familiar because I'm a weightlifter? Look, Kim, it's a trap. There are no collars on the barbell. You're right. The weights may fall off. Better not touch it then. What kind of a bastard would just remove the collars? It should be a felony. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore. Is it familiar because I'm a weightlifter? I'm gonna ask to myself. Our inland empire says, no, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. Then the feeling is gone. It's just a memory, says our logic. A memory from another life, when you were young and fit. Can I do anything about our physical instrument? Because we have the fallen modular track pants. They're not really modular, they're just, quote, modular, unquote. So we also have, I think we have some shirts around here. Yeah, we have the white tank top, but that's about the only thing. I don't feel like going up on that. So a 17 point, let's see, how much does it increase by every point? So it's a 1/6 is the chance that that we have We have 1/6 of a chance. On a 2d6 throw, that means we need to roll a 6. Well, it doesn't. No, that's not how it works. I'm not actually sure. I can't calculate easily. But I'm not gonna try to lift that. It's obviously a trap, and I'm bad at it. And also, I'm probably gonna die. And this time around, for reasons that actually people die for. Because I would get a weight in my face. The hallway is blocked by old window panes and debris. Well. This looks promising. A large demijohn full of strange liquid. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. Poor animals, no rest for their bodies after death. Says our character. Airship rotors covered in spiderwebs. They remind you of blades. Yes, they are rotor blades. They remind me of what? Swords? Is that what you mean by blades? A naked mannequin torso. A strange yellow color. But where are the clothes it used to display? I have literally never... Well... This is not a... where are the clothes? My character asks. In the shop that used the mannequin? Certainly not in the place that we're in. Mannequins are meant to be naked all the time. Unless they're actually serving their purpose. It's like seeing a television and then asking, where's the programs or whatever, the television programs that it used to show. This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wire framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer. A radio computer, says Kim, watching you cycle around the machine, or circle around the machine, just sitting here without anyone in sight. He sounds surprised and a bit cautious. What he means is that these things cost money. Why would anyone just leave it behind? Says our reaction speed. And Kim says, but we're looking for a fridge and we're pressed on time, so... On the other hand, it's not that I'm not interested in abandoned radio computers. That's what he means. Our esprit de corps reveals. Our interfacing says, this is a REM Civic radio computer model RC5120 equipped with a Fell mainframe and a REM-compatible printer. Do you think I should turn it on? I'm gonna ask. Kim says, maybe the body has stopped decomposing somehow. He looks over his shoulder. I don't know, you're in charge of this expedition, officer. You can always do it after the fridge. Thanks, reaction speed is that's what I was gonna say. What is this? Blue velvet, soft to the touch, moth bitten. Oh, sorry. Oh, I see what how the computer is held. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. Let's just look at the photos very quickly. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees groaning under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds abandoned in a storm, animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers by boreal dwerg yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Our encyclopedia allowed us to know what that is. A pinned postcard reads, the heat death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral, maybe, becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe. That's not what heat death means, but that is the... I think there's a very famous science fiction series of books that is specifically about the Earth being dislodged from... Well, it's not about the dislodgement of Earth from the solar system. It's in Earth, but after it has been dislodged from the solar system. It's called I don't know the name. I'm sorry. There's planets that are unmoored from stars, and those are called rogue planets. Oh, did I just Is that what? Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, and I didn't know the name. And yeah, those are called rogue planets, and it's estimated that they form the vast majority of planets. It is the planets that don't have a star, which is incredible to think of. They're also completely dark, and because they don't have a star, so they're very difficult to find. Although several thousands have been found over the course of history. And when I say history, I do mean just the last few decades, because that's when we have mechanisms to look at this universe like that. Anyway, the point is, if imagine like a planet the size of Jupiter, or maybe even bigger, comes across the solar system, because they're traveling at enormous speeds, comes across the solar system and passes the Earth close enough, or any planet for that matter, but close enough to affect our orbit, we could get attracted into its very own gravitational field, although I'm not really sure that's possible. I've spoken with a friend of mine who's a civil engineer. He doesn't seem to believe that that's possible, so I will defer the physical calculations to him, even though he's not an astrophysicist, of course. But it's a thing, because there's a mythos for a planet like that. I don't know what religion has it, but there's a mythos for, I think it's a twin planet of the Earth that is going around. And I don't know exactly how it is, but it's a rogue planet, and when it comes back, it will take us with it. Not destroy us, or maybe certain versions of the mythos is like that, but just sort of swoop us away forever to be gone from the solar system. However, that is not heat death. Heat death is a phenomenal concept that is really interesting and also sort of scary and honestly irrelevant. Not irrelevant in physical terms, of course, but irrelevant in anything that matters for like practicality. What happens is that the universe will suffer from heat death. It's unavoidable that it will suffer from heat death. It's very many billions and billions and billions of years in the future, but because what heat death is how should I explain it? Me not being a good person to explain this. You can look it up if you want to. Just in very simple terms, the universe is full of energy. Light is energy, and radioactivity is energy. Anything that you see, like your screen, your computer is made of energy. All the particles, all the yourself, your cells, everything is made of energy. Matter, as we understand it right now in the most updated physics, matter doesn't really exist. It's just energy fields. That's all that exists, and particles are just energy fields. I'm not sure if that's specifically the field of quantum physics, but quantum physics has allowed us to understand matter in a better way, and we have come to that conclusion that and when I say we, I mean humans, have come to the conclusion that matter is just energy. It's just energy, and that's why when you have fission, nuclear fission, you have that's what the sun does. It's just matter in the sun, and the energy in the matter, in like a little molecule of a hydrogen or helium or whatever the sun is made of, a little molecule is capable of unleashing tremendous energy, and that it's all there. The energy exists, but there's a notion. First off, there's the first law of physics. First law of Newton, the law of conservation of energy. I mean, I'm not actually sure what the name is, but the point is, nothing is created or deleted. Everything is transformed, which means that the energy, under traditional classic understanding of physics, the energy from a nuclear atom, or from a nuclear explosion or whatever, nuclear atom, that's not words, but the energy from that explosion, the energy from that atom is just transformed into other energy that goes elsewhere in the universe. So the universe never really dies; it just gets transformed over and over again, and that's just how it is. Unfortunately, or not unfortunately, but that's just how things are. It's not quite like that. I don't know when we found it, and even when we theorized it. I think we've theorized this decades and decades in the past. I don't know who it was, but we have found that there is a decay. It's not what is usually known as entropy. because entropy, what it means is that imagine you have a cup of hot water right next to a cup of cold water. And when we're talking about hot and cold, we're talking about relative terms. We're not talking the water isn't frozen. It's just normal, temperature, atmospheric temperature of water, and you have the cups right next to each other. What will happen with the energy within those cups is that the hot water will tend to warm everything around it, and it sort of tend to warm the cold water a little bit. And of course, the atmosphere is going to warm the atmosphere more than the cold water. But that transfer of energy is called entropy. Actually, that's just one type of entropy, because there's another way of looking at entropy, but in physical terms, that is what entropy is. And the universe, what it will do is that, then that's before the heat death, is that everything will even out. Every cup of water is going to transfer its energy into the nearest cup of water, and everything will be at the same temperature. And that happens for water, but it also happens for molecules. And entropy also happens to in molecule decay, which is another type of death. So, but way before heat death, we'll have a universe made solely of particles of nothing. But it'll have just as much energy, or not as much, but a lot of energy as well, almost as much as we have right now. But the problem is that universe of just plain nothingness, of just, it's not, it's not nothingness, but it's everything is even out, very smooth. That universe will last for so long, but it will still die of heat death. And that's where all the energy will disappear, and it will be 0 Kelvin. Because 0 Kelvin is, absolute zero temperature. And that's what it means, heat death. Not a planet unmoored from its star. I ramble. I'm so sorry. I will come back to that. Let's see what we have over here. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading up over the stone like blood vessels and alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. A diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being, asks our inland empire. The symbols seem very esoteric. What am I looking at? Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, and 0.9. Some written notes too, sparse and cryptic. This is what I would think is outside of civilian frequencies. Radio frequencies for what? Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's not radio. I mean, it may be, but it's not like, radio in the sense that we talk about radio. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. Of course, the anatomy of the curse. I'm going to narrow my eyes theatrically. Kim doesn't notice. Perhaps the web, we are talking to ourselves. Perhaps the web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says this one can listen in on any station it wants. Oh, that's what that is then. They must have had massive air width. These things don't come cheap. A dead high of a frequency? No, but those would be radio stations, so they probably don't have the same laws as we have, at least here in Europe. I don't know, actually, no. Here in Europe, the commercial radio goes from, I want to say 90 hertz to 107.2 hertz. I want to say that. I might be wrong on those. At least here in Portugal, it might be slightly different elsewhere in Europe, but mostly the same. But I do know that there's other laws in other countries. At least the US, I've seen radio stations in the 109 hertz, and it's just different laws. You know how it is, because the airwaves are. There's a bunch of things about the airwaves. Honestly, I don't know anything about it, so let's not talk about that. I know even less about that than I do about heat death of the universe. Let's see. Who's the game master? Actually, I don't care about that. Well, I do, but if it's a game, then who's playing? Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. A list of names under the station suggests people across 6 isolas would be playing. I'm sorry. Mundi, Insulinde, Katla, Grad, Samara, and even Ilmara. Ilmara. My God, the hiccups. I'm sorry. All of this gone, left unrealized. Says our empathy. Really? Okay, well, that's assuring. I thought it might be the person that we're looking for down here. Or if there's anybody in here in the first place. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off. Why not? Why not? As far as I know, a radio tower is just energy. All you need is a big enough converter. They'd have room. I mean, they might not have the converter down here. Yeah, but I think all you need is energy, for one. But then you need to convert that energy into... I think you need a converter. I'm not sure if you do. You definitely need to modulate it to make, you know, the airwaves. But that's basically electricity that you're spending to make the... well, in very simple terms, to make the antenna wiggle. That's mostly what it does. It just wiggles. No, does it wiggle or does it does it wiggle? Does it actually? It's anyway. The hertz are converted to the antenna, but I'm not sure if it's a wiggling thing because wiggling is sound and radio isn't sound, even though it sounds weird, right? Radio travels at the speed of light. That's why, for example, when we went to the moon, the delay was only 9 seconds, 6 seconds, 6.2 seconds. Is it 12 seconds? Maybe I don't remember the time or the length. I probably could calculate it because I know the width of the Earth. I know the distance between the Earth and the moon, and I know how long it takes for light to travel from one side of the Earth to the other. So that's 12,000 kilometers. That's a quarter of a second, which means that we have 300. It's 350,000 kilometers from Earth to the moon, which means it probably is around 12 seconds, roughly. So yeah, yeah. Anyway, the point is, it doesn't wiggle. The antenna doesn't wiggle. The cost of air width alone must have been huge. The electricity, for sure. Exactly, says Kim. Oh no, Kim is... Oh, I skipped a thing. Kim says, "My God." The lieutenant leans closer, his finger tracking the maddening rhizome. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their projects became. And yeah, I said that what I said, and it says, exactly. He nods at the calendar on the chalkboard, wiping his marker-stained fingers clean against his jacket. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding, says Kim. What else? I'm gonna squint at the lines. Nothing. Yep, just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages. Curious. Well, at least we did that. Scribbled across a notebook. Developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe. I've heard of this. I've heard of this. We need to go in there, right? We need to go in here. Oh, no. I'm gonna waste so much time. Oh, no. I have many things to do. Come on. Oh, I don't know if you know about this, by the way. And if you do, well, I don't know about... I know it existed in the game. The wall collapsed. It's inaccessible now. Although, to be fair, I don't know if that bear's eyes glow, and now they don't anymore. Huh. An ice cream maker, defrosted and unplugged. Okay. You see a oh, it's the fridge. Oh my god, yeah. You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost and the bear's eyes are glowing red. This must be the fridge you were told about. Look inside, see if it's big enough for the corpse. Yeah, let's crack the door open. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun. Relax, Kim. It's the fridge, remember? Of course. A giant ice bear-shaped fridge. He relaxes his hand, his face bathed in the harsh light of the open fridge door. Just what we were looking for. Let's see what's inside. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers in the brand name Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note that has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge. Well, this is clearly the fridge. It looks big enough for 2 corpses. It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is capacious and cold enough too. But the optics on this are awful, says our esprit de corps. Actually, it's Kim who is implying that. We need to be as silent as we can. Shall we go and get the body then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy, but we will manage. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna clap my hands. The body... Gross. The body is heavier than you expected. And we're out of time for the day. So for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Disco Elysium. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.